can you explain mindful contagion and how that can
Well,
improve the relationships with those around you?
well, okay, it's wild. I mean, I'll give you the easy to accept, because you asked me, your first question to me is, who's coming after you for all of your strange thoughts? And this one would bring a lot of people. But first, the simplest one is that when you're mindful, you're at peace, right? You're not stressed. You're sort of a single organized unit, not your head is there, all that nonsense. Children, animals, and people find that comforting. That if you go to somebody who has a demeanor similar to your own, where you're smiling, you just give the impression of being a nice guy, you're less afraid of the person making you feel small, attacking you in some way. So the more mindful we are, the nicer we are, the easier it is for other people to approach us. But the piece that I wrote about in The Mindful Body, and with all sorts of conditions, I say, look, this is what we found. I can't fully explain it, but we shouldn't discount it just because it seems to go against our mundane understanding of physics. Interesting, physicists have less difficulty accepting it. Okay, so in one of these studies, we show people a simple index card. On the index card, it says, I'll say many different things, but this one I say, I love Paris in the springtime. I give the index card to someone to read. They read, I love Paris in the springtime. I say, how many words were on that card? They go, I love Paris in the spring. 6. I say, I'll pay you to be accurate. I love Paris in the springtime, anyway, so people almost universally don't see the double word. Now, here's what's wild. Okay, so let's say you're mindful, and now your wife, who finds you annoying most of the time, is just standing next to you, and we give her the index card to read. The data suggests that she will see the double letter, that somehow your mindfulness, your presence, who knows how to explain it, will affect her. We're replicating this in a prison now, of all places. The main reason to be mindful is that for you personally, it's good for your health. You'll live longer. You'll be happier. You'll be able to solve problems more easily. And you appear trustworthy and nice to people. And that's probably the best reason for your relationship to improve. It's also that if you're mindful, if your wife were mindful, she would not only know you're not always annoying, she'd know, and this is a mouthful, behavior makes sense from the actor's perspective, or else the actor wouldn't do it. You don't wake up in the morning and say, today I'm going to be annoying. So what is it from your perspective you're actually doing when you're annoying?
Jokes. I come from Australia. Usually we're just making fun, making jokes a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so you're being funny. So now if she said you were being funny rather than you were annoying, would she want to change your behavior? Probably not. But if she did, the way to change your behavior is say, James, you better stop being so annoying. Since you're not intending to be annoying from your perspective, it'll fall on deaf ears. What she has to do is get you to no longer value being funny. Now, I side with her because you don't seem to me that you'd be particularly funny, but who knows? But it's true, that every negative behavior, every single one, has an equally strong but positive alternative. So for me, people may find me annoying. I don't know. The ones who don't come to me might find, and I'm not aware of it, and it's fine. But the things that I do have, one is that I can be called impulsive. The reason I'm impulsive is because I value being spontaneous. I'm also very gullible. Why am I gullible? Because I value being trusting. So it turns out that if you look at why you're doing whatever you're doing, you're no longer going to take yourself apart for doing it. And then you can make a decision. Well, do I want to change this to please my wife, my boss, whoever else, or just go elsewhere?